All right, if you're an RF tech, you know the spectrum is just noisy. It's crowded, chaotic. But what happens when some of that noise isn't an accident? What if it's deliberate? That's what we're digging into today. A real-world field guide on how to spot, track down, and report illegal radio jamming, all based on a super detailed technical report.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can go on the hunt, we've got to know exactly what our target is, right? We're not talking about your neighbor's leaky microwave or some weird atmospheric skip. Nope. We are talking about radio jamming. And that means something very specific. A transmission that is completely intentional, malicious even, designed for one reason, and one reason only, to shut down communications.
And it's super important to know where we're getting this info. This whole guide is based on a really comprehensive report from the folks at RFI Detectives. Now, let's be absolutely crystal clear about this right from the get-go. This is all for educational purposes, to help you mitigate interference. Using jamming gear is illegal pretty much everywhere, and the penalties are no joke. The whole point here is to be the solution, not part of the problem.
So that leads us right to the first major hurdle for any tech out in the field. You see something weird on your scope. Is it just random noise, or is it an actual, deliberate threat? How you answer that one question is going to dictate everything you do next.
And this is really the whole ball game at the start. You've got two buckets. In one bucket, you have all the unintentional stuff, accidental noise from busted equipment, weird sunspot activity, that kind of thing. It's annoying for sure, but it's just an accident. But in the other bucket, you've got purposeful jamming. And that's a different beast entirely. It's targeted, it's hostile, and spotting that intent, well, that's your first big clue that you're dealing with something serious.
Okay, so you've made the call. This isn't an accident. It's deliberate. At that moment, your job title basically changes. You're not just a technician diagnosing a problem anymore. Now, you're a hunter. And your mission is to find the physical source of that signal.
And that's the big question, isn't it? You've got this invisible force just wrecking your communications. It could be coming from anywhere. So how in the world do you take this ghost in the machine and pinpoint it to an actual spot on a map?
Well, the number one tool in your toolkit for this is something called direction finding, or DF. And this isn't just waving an antenna around and hoping for the best. It's a real science. You use a directional antenna to get a bead on where the signal is coming from. Think of it like a compass pointing straight at the source. But here's the catch. Just one line of sight. That's not going to be enough.
This is where it all clicks into place. It's a pretty slick process, actually. You take your DF antenna, you get a bearing, boom, there's one line pointing towards the jammer. Then you pack up, move to a totally different spot, and you do it again. Get a second bearing, maybe you even move a third time and get another one. And where all those lines cross on the map, bingo. That's your source. You've basically just turned something completely invisible into a real physical location.
So you did it. You found it. You might even be standing just a few feet away from whatever is pumping out that jamming signal. You'd think the hunt is over, right? Well, not even close. In fact, the most critical part is just getting started. A very strict protocol kicks in right now, and believe me, the clock is ticking.
This is the exact moment everything changes. Finding the source is the trigger. From here on out, you're not just a tech anymore. You are now an evidence collector. You are officially on the clock, following a protocol where every single thing you do has to be perfect and has to be documented.
And check this out. Talk about pressure. The protocol is black and white on this. From the second you identify that source, you have a maximum of 1 hour. 1 hour. To get the official notification out to the regulators. I mean, the stopwatch is literally just started.
And while that 60-minute timer is counting down, you're basically a crime scene investigator. You have to log every single measurement with an exact timestamp. You're taking pictures of everything, the gear, the surroundings, you name it. And most importantly, you have to capture the raw IQ data of the signal. Think of that raw data as the jammer's digital fingerprint. It's the key to doing a deep forensic analysis later on, the thing that will prove without a doubt what was going on. This isn't optional stuff, it's absolutely mandatory.
So you're probably thinking, why all the rush? Why the crazy detailed paperwork? Well, there's a really, really good reason. It all boils down to the fact that what you've just found isn't just a technical glitch. It's potentially a crime. And this right here is the heart of it. This quote from the report nails it. We're not just talking about cleaning up some static. Operating a jammer is illegal, flat out. And we're talking about huge fines, maybe even criminal charges. All that careful work you just did, all that documentation, That's step one in a very official, very serious legal process.
Look, having the skills to find, track, and report these kinds of threats, it basically makes you a guardian of the airwaves. And as the jamming tech gets smarter and sneakier, well, the hunt just gets tougher. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What's the next big challenge going to be? What new tools are we going to need to keep the spectrum clear?